a topic which is of interest to a lot of us over here, which is optimizing performance and well-being and the essential strategies for mature runners. When we say mature runners, it's not necessarily being a marathoner, but even a regular physically fit person who's aspiring to be running is good enough, because today we have a very wonderful speaker with us, Venkat. Venkat is an accomplished runner. He holds the certification on level 2 of Road Runners Club of America, an accomplished coach for long distance running. And this is his third career, effectively, starting from investment banking at some point of time, being an entrepreneur post that. And now he follows his passion of getting people to run, and himself a regular marathoner. At one point of time, and even just pre-COVID, Venkat was running a half marathon every month. And that's a toll on the body, as we all know. So what we have over here is before we get into a conversation with Venkat, just a quick one on people who are familiar with Get Set Up. Welcome back, and people who would like to know what we do at Get Set Up. So Get Set Up is on a mission to empower older adults, those above the age of 55, to learn new skills from their own peers, as well as become the largest community to beat isolation, loneliness, and we equip the community with tools and knowledge to age independently and well in place. With that, one of the topics that we always cover under the health and wellness is getting people to be physically and mentally fit. On the physical segment that we're talking about is a lot of you all have already signed up for the marathon season. Some have already been regularly running lately. So that's interesting to know. And more importantly, both Venkat and I share a passion for running. In fact, he's an inspiration to me. I would love to be growing up into becoming him at some stage in life, and I will reach there very soon. So welcome, everyone. Good morning. We'll kick this off, Venkat. Thank you for doing this for us and our members. And we all know that you are a regular feature at Bandra Fort or Juhu Beach in Mumbai, as well as on the roads of Mumbai, sometimes burning the tar at a reasonable pace, running your half marathons and your 10 kilometers. But more importantly, you have set up two very important agendas for yourself. You run something called Zippers Club, which is for people who have gone through a cardiac surgery. Venkat himself, as close to about 15-16 years back, went through a cardiac surgery, and since then he's regularly been running post that. So we'll talk a bit about that as well, how to maintain that the heart inside you is as strong. As well, he runs an event company which manages marathons and events, running related events across the country, and he does many of them, including the Navy Marathon in Vizag. That he's involved at the Tata Mumbai Marathon also for training his own club to get people to run. So with that, Venkat, running has been a passion for you, and all of us always have this bit of a hesitation to either begin running or even halfway through our running careers, like now I'm facing for the last 10 years of running, that should I continue? It's good for my knees or not? Can my heart take it at regular intervals? Is the insane traffic of Mumbai roads or city roads, wherever we run or whichever town we live in, is it good enough with potholes as well as the dogs chasing us? And is it road running versus treadmill running? Anybody who has access to gyms. So could you address some of those hesitations that all of us feel? Means at your stage and age in life, and I don't want to mention yours at all, as young as any one of us. So I would refer this to you. How would you get these hesitations off our heads?
Thank you, Ashwini. Thank you very much for the nice words and the introduction. Good morning, everybody. And yeah, there is a lot about hesitation. The first is that many people fear that, oh, if I run, I'll get a heart attack, because that's what the stories in the news is. To bear in mind that about 60 people die of a heart attack in Bombay every day. Okay. And they are doing the ordinary things of life. They are stitching and cooking. Somebody was climbing a staircase. Somebody was traveling in the train. Somebody was sitting in the sofa and having a beer and eating some chips and watching television. And all of them, 60 people die every day from a heart attack. That's the published statistics. Okay. And they're doing the everyday things of life. But only when he's running, and he gets a heart attack, it becomes a story, because if you say BPO executive drinking beer, eating chips gets a heart attack, that's normal, okay, right? So whereas when somebody's running, then people think that, oh, he was running and then he got a heart attack. So the question always is that whether he got an heart attack due to running or whether he got a heart attack during running. Okay, is an important factor to bear in mind. And published statistics, not my opinion, but very well researched published statistics all over the world have said that actually the incidence of a cardiac incident happening while running is less than a train accident or a flight travel or any of the other risk factors, or even crossing the road in India. Okay, we have in India. So that's published statistics. Okay, now, a lot of people say that, oh, I don't run, I've got a heart problem, I take statins and I'm overweight, can I start running, etc. There's a risk stratification protocol that ACSM has got. If you have more than two risk factors, then you should go to a doctor, consult, do some test. Otherwise, you must start slowly. Okay, that is the factor to bear in mind. The risk factors are age above 50, smoker or ex-smoker, family history of having cardiac disease, any symptoms when you start running, and high sugar. So these are the kind of risk factors that predispose you to cardiac risk. So if you have two of them, then you should definitely go and get yourself some ECG done or do a run on a treadmill and do a stress test and stuff like that, and then say that, okay, I'm okay and I can come out. So that is what the risk factor is. Uh, where to run in Bombay? You can run on the roads, in the society, in the gym, on a treadmill. There are many places to run all over the city. I prefer the mornings over the evenings because morning times the air is a little bit cleaner because the sea has done its work, the sea winds have done its work, traffic is less. But most important is that if you start running in the morning and you keep a program and you get out and go and have that run, then the day's activities do not kind of impair your ability to go out and run later in the day, because something or other creeps up and delay accumulates, and then, oh, I don't have time to go for a run, is the kind of thing. So I prefer the mornings. So those are the few things about hesitation, about why people I wanted to address the medical factor first. Next is traffic. Traffic is a very important thing, and you did mention that about being this. Yeah, we prefer to, definitely you should not run along with the traffic. You should run against the traffic. That is a very simple rule. But as far as possible, don't run on the footpath, run on the promenade, run on the beach, run in a park where you are away from traffic. So that you don't have this. One thing that many people like to do, which I don't recommend at all, is to listen to music. And these ear pods have become so ubiquitous that everybody has something white. It looks like a cotton bud to an elderly gentleman like me, but it's actually an ear pod, and everybody has something sticking in their ear, and you don't know whether they're talking to somebody on the phone. But anyway, jokes apart, what is important is that situational awareness is important, and hearing things removes that situational awareness, which is very important. For a woman, it is, of course, even more important. And you should not compromise your situational awareness in a city like Bombay, unless you're running in a park or you're running in a treadmill, you're running within your building compound. That's a different thing. There, of course, you can use your headphones. So those are the few things, that make people hesitate from starting to run.
Venkat, nicely put by saying that elderly gentlemen like you means I like to front, ladies and gentlemen, means when I say I'm inspired by Venkat, a lot of us who have met him, and a few of us at Get Set Up who have been interacting with him, we always come out very charged. And thanks for removing the hesitations, Venkat. I think you're right. As long as we are situationally aware. And I used to wonder when I started running that running against the traffic, why is it recommended? But now I realize it's important because at least you can see an oncoming traffic and you can decide, quickly move to the side. So it's much better. Well, not everybody on the road understands that, but the regular runners understand that very much. So that's one good tip. Getting the heart issue out is a good one as well. I think you yourself are an epitome of that, and your own Zippers Club, where you get people to get fitter even after, or rather rehabilitate effectively after a cardiac surgery. is very, very, very interesting to know. Now that we've kind of addressed some of these questions of why people hesitate, let's address something very interesting, and you and I are beneficiaries of that, and everybody else who we speak to, and kind of get them to regular. And when I keep referring to you and I think just as a background, 10 years back I could not even jog more than 500 meters, for everyone's reference. And that's why I keep saying that, people like me who have benefited. So, Venkat, what are the positives of running? Means we all keep hearing it's good for, and I was reading an article in Runner's World the other day. It's good for the mind. It's good for keeping the heart strong. You are an example of that. Its overall well-being is just gets improved by a cardio activity like running, and or rather running amongst all the cardio activities, probably one of up there, which is recommended to keep yourself both mentally and physically fit, especially on the mental part. What are the positives that come out of it, especially at this age? I think mental agility, or mental fitness is equally important, or if not more.
Sure. The benefits of running, and when I say running, any cardio work also, maybe Zumba, maybe, swimming, cycling, anything that works the heart. You can divide all these benefits into three distinct pools. And one is the medical, which is the physiological, what happens to your body. Second is the mental, which you have talked about, and the third is the social. We are all interconnected living beings, and the social is also very important. So let's start with what is tangible and immediate for many people, which is physical. There are published studies, and our Zippers Club logo, we have a heart, and then we have got about 29 medical conditions that running is known scientifically to cure. Okay, heart disease, blood pressure, diabetes. These are the big ones. Everybody knows that. Joint flexibility, sense of balance, osteoarthritis, uh, depression. So many of these factors have been there. Thalassemia, some people have found out, it can mitigate the effects of thalassemia. So regular cardio exercise, which involves zone 2, zone 3, zone 1 kind of training, definitely has all these proven medical benefits, which are like proven. Okay, like studies have been done and definitely proven. So that is the physiological aspect of that, which everybody wants. Everybody wants to lose weight. When I give a talk, I ask people, corporate audience, 200 people, 100 people, 50 people. I say, how many people want to lose weight? So almost all hands go up, except the new recruits and the interns. Okay, so that is a fact of life. All of us are more than what we should weigh. So that is the most immediate benefit. There's nothing wrong. Vanity is a nice thing in this kind of a situation. Being able to go back into your college jeans or wear that t-shirt that became too tight is a nice thing to have, kind of thing. So that is a physical part, that is a physiological part, which is very this. The second is the mental part. Our mental well-being depends upon all the hormones that our body keeps on releasing. And most of the time we are stressed. I mean, modern life has made us stressful because we are completely on our toes all the time. We never get the time to relax and, talk to people, recuperate. Even retired life can become very, challenging for many, for various reasons. And there's a mental stress. Mental stress releases a lot of hormones that are like cortisol, testosterone, adrenaline, and all this kind of stress hormones, which are more in our body. And our the way we mentally are, and the way we mentally stable, happy, looking up to life, jestful, waking up in the morning with something to do, not feeling morose about oneself, that depends a lot upon the chemical soup of hormones that is there in your body. What running does is that it releases the good hormones. The good hormones have been classified into four, and it helps you remember them as an acronym called DOAC: dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins. Okay, dose. So what running does is that it gives you a daily dose of hormones. Okay, so when you have these good hormones being released, you go out for a run, you come back. You feel happy with yourself. It may not be a run, it may be a walk. It may be you might start with a simple goal like I'll walk for half an hour every day. Okay, it might just be that. And you go out and do that half an hour, you have a sense of accomplishment. And that releases all the good hormones into your body. You feel nice, you feel wow. And when those good hormones come into your body, they mitigate the effects of the bad hormones, the stress hormones that are there. So mentally running any form of physical activity is nature's way of rewarding you for what you have done that is desirable, which is stay healthy, exercise. Okay. You can't get a more simpler nature's handbook than this. Okay. You know how nature wants you to be. Nature wants you to be healthy. Nature wants you to be mobile. Nature wants you to be fit. Nature wants you to be happy. Correct. You just have to give it a chance. You have to wear your shoes and get out in the morning at 6 o'clock, walk for half an hour and come back. Okay. The last is social. We are social human beings, and the reason people get sent to solitary confinement in jails is to cut them from social life. That's the most uh, difficult or most strictest part of punishment you can give to a human being, which is solitary confinement. Okay, which many of our leaders went and this they put a under cell or whatever it is. That is the way we have had. So today, most of us are in solitary confinement ourselves. We have put ourselves into solitary confinement by not interacting with people in a real time. WhatsApp, Zoom calls, watching Netflix doesn't count. Okay. Making a phone call and hearing a real voice counts. Okay. Going and meeting the person counts even more. Going out for a picnic, going out for a dinner, going out for a walk, going for a kitty party, all the things that people do to socialize, that counts. When you become old, it becomes difficult to make new friends for various reasons. Okay, for various reasons, become me. So running or going to the gym or going for swimming, going to an aerobic class brings people together and you form new friendship, new connections. The connections that you form socially, that is between you and me and whoever else is there in the audience, are the connections that makes the connections in the mind also grow stronger. A lot of studies again that have proven this. So running helps you physiologically in all the physiological medical terms. It helps you mentally because it remains mentally. And lastly, we are all interconnected human beings. We are all interconnected organisms, and it helps you socially to live a life full of jest, health, vigor, look up to things, and make people who don't do all these things admire you.
No, thanks, Venkat. I think just going back, it'll be good for for everybody to understand. I'm not sure everybody's familiar with the term, but a quick one on zone 2, 3, and 4 that you mentioned. What does that mean? Keeping that cardiology zone 2, 3, and 4. What does that mean?
Okay. So the basic this is known as heart rate training. So the basic thing is that you increase your heart rate more and more and more, and then as you increase, there are benefits at each zone. So basically, it's the heart rate is divided into 5 zones, 5 being the most intense and 1 being the most easiest. So zone 1 is slightly more than resting heart rate. So everybody has a resting heart rate. It gets lower when you exercise a lot. It is higher when you don't exercise and your hobbies and your heart is pumping very fast to send blood everywhere. So generally it is said that 72 is a resting heart rate for a human being. My resting heart rate during normal time, like today, now it will be about 65. When I go to sleep and I get up, the nadir of my resting heart rate is often below 50, which is considered good, which is considered a trained body. So from 72, if you come up to say 90 or 100, you're in zone 1. You just started walking, you're climbing a small staircase, something like that is zone 1. And then when your heart rate comes to 115, 120 in that range, it is zone 2. So there's a formula to arrive at it. It is the formula is 220 minus your age into that percentage. 40 to 50, 60 to 70, 70 to 80, 80 to 90, above 90 is the formula. And different people have different ways of interpreting this and all that. But generally, zone 1 is very comfortable because not everybody has a heart rate monitor. So we go by feel also. Zone 1 is very comfortable. You can talk, you can walk, you can do everything. Okay. Zone 2 is slightly more like you started brisk walking or a mild jog. That is zone 2. You can still take a call. You can still, somebody who's calling you will not know on the other end that you're actually involved in some exercise. They'll think your conversation is normal. Zone 3 is when your heart goes a little bit more 120, 130. that range. 140 maybe touching. And your talking is in little bit of a gas. Yeah, Ashwin, hey, I will call you later. Okay. I am running. So that will be the way of conversation, zone three. Okay. Zone four will be a little bit more. Uh, 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 you'll be talking. And if Ashwin calls up, I'll say, Ashwin, hey, I'll call you later. Come talk now. Okay. So a little bit more gasping in the breath. I'm just trying to put it by the feel. And zone five is like, I'm dead. Bring a stretcher, get an ambulance. Okay. Is zone
Got it.
five. Okay.
And I think that's how is your peak heart rate that we work on normally.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
this people can keep it in zone two or zone three. So we've addressed the part of how to firstly get the hesitations out, how to kind of look at the positives of running. A lot of us over here have signed up for our first marathon or a first run, a 5K or a 10K, and a lot of us are regulars. For both the regulars as well as people who have initiated based on they want to consume the DOSE, the dopamine, oxytocin, is the dose, the daily dose that you mentioned, endorphins consumption or endorphins development within the body. But more importantly, how do you ensure that you can, and you again, coming to you from both personal experience and as a trained coach, how would you recommend in terms of keeping physical strength training activities parallel to running, addressing the issues of muscles, because as we're aging, muscles are not remaining at the same strength. So how do you catch up with that? And what about nutrition as well along with that? So some of the tips to be able to remain strong, to be able to both finish in a high so that you get your dose very well, as well as to reduce injuries while training, as well as running your first race at that point in time. So any views around that, or how do you recommend? Is there a plan that you follow, or you make your trainees follow regularly?
Yeah, my trainees have been running for 10 years, so they're all well adapted. But when you want to start running, the question is that how do you slowly get fit? For example, I can eat a pizza and not put on weight. Okay. While I'm sitting here, I'm burning more calories because the body has got adapted over a period of time. My blood capillary density per square cubic meter of muscle mass is much higher than somebody who's not trained. I have more capillaries, I have more mitochondria, which is what happens physiologically when you exercise regularly, and therefore there's more blood rushing through my body, there is more food being consumed, I lose weight easily. That is what happens, adaptations in my body. Now this doesn't happen immediately, it happens by what is known as progression. So when you start exercising, it depends upon where you're starting from, where your base is. If you've been an absolutely sedentary individual, never gone for a walk, my recommendation would be start going for a walk. Go for half an hour, that should be normal, and then increase the distance. If you are able to walk for 1 hour and not feel tired, exhausted, oh my God, I came back, give me limbu pani, kind of tiredness after a 1 hour walk, then you take up running because that means your legs are now being able to take the load of your body and move, and your muscles are okay, and they're okay. Then add a little bit more stress. So running or walking or exercising is all about progression. Start with walking, do about 1 hour of walking, be comfortable. When I say 1 hour of walking, it means every alternate day. So it's not like every day. So most of the exercises are like 3 days a week. That is what is recommended because one day should go for recovery. And we are also an aging population. So every alternate day, walk for 1 hour and see if you can do that. A 5K walk is a 45-minute walk. A 10K run or walk is a 1.5 hour walk. If you walk for 1.5 hours, you are approximately covering 10 kilometers, depending again upon your pace and briskness and all that. So if you do that, your legs are able to take it, your body is able to take that weight, and that's also good strength training because your legs are becoming stronger as you walk regularly. Then you can start running. You can put some small doses of running into it, so you can start with a good ratio of 2:10. That means you for example you can run for 2 minutes, walk for 8 minutes. Okay? So 2:8, total 10. So 20% running. Then if that is comfortable, then make it 30% running. So if you don't have a watch, if you don't want to look at the watch, in Bombay there are street lights everywhere. So run for two street lights, walk for eight. Run for two again, walk for eight. So put some running into that walking. Okay. If you feel comfortable with that and you've done that 3 times a week and you're comfortable with that two lampposts, then make it three running and seven walking. Then make it four, then do that for 1 week. Then make it four running and six walking. And like that you slowly increase. And I'm telling you, within about a month and a half, you will be running your 5K. Okay. You'll be running your 5K without any injuries because slowly your body has adapted to that this. If you want to do more intense, if you want to have better health, you want to have a toner body, you need to add some strength training. And strength training doesn't mean going to the gym and lifting weights and all that. Your own body is your weight, your own body is the resistance. And there are lots of exercises. And I have a 21-day video, 21-day challenge on YouTube, which many people refer to, and I can share the link and put it in the show notes. So this is how to do strength training, mobility, everything within your house, using only the items that are available in everybody's house. I kept the equipment to the minimum and just you just need a floor mat and you are in the house and you can do that video. You can stream it every day. If you follow it for 21 days, the benefits can be amazing. Okay. So that is something. Push-ups, squats, sit-ups, all this, you have all these variations, and all these are good enough to get good musculature, make your body very fit. Along with that, improving other aspects of fitness like stretching, mobility, uh, balancing, reflexes, proprioception, that is getting a sense of where you're in time and space, are also all important. And most of them get developed as you regularly exercise and do stretches. So you don't have to really do anything specific. The body is capable of training itself to a reasonable level of fitness. You need to go into a gym and hire a trainer and do very special things only if you want to go to the next level, which is to show off people, have a physique and all that. You don't require that. In normal healthy life, you don't require your house, the stuff that there is there in the house, and your ability to walk around your building compound is enough to be healthy. Okay, that is the I'm a simple philosophy man. Don't confuse it too much with too many stuff. Is my approach to exercise and fitness.
No, that's helpful again, Venkat. I think you raise a very important point about a discipline of regularity of training, and B, making it gradual. And the body is such a wonderful thing that the minute it starts seeing the benefits, or the minute you start putting in the effort, it actually throws back benefit after benefit, which just encourages you to get up the next morning and go and do the morning exercise. I like the part earlier that you said that, get there are a couple of reasons. One is, of course, people, all of us who live in towns and cities which are polluted and get more polluted as the day progresses because of all the vehicular traffic, as well as traffic is much less. So getting your workout or getting your run or your walks early in the morning is much better. There is no right or wrong time, but morning, all of us prefer to do it in the morning for these particular reasons. The other thing that a lot of us who prefer to do it in the morning is also the reason that it's one of the so-called chores that you want to get rid of, so that the rest of the days is you can get busy with what your daily life is. But more importantly, I've noticed a lot, and this is anecdotal, and I think part of it is the science that you've just mentioned about in earlier part, that the four hormones that get released is if you do it, the people who kind of finish off their morning walks and runs early morning, they tend to have a much better behavior or much better attitude to the day. You can during whatever, whether it's a traffic stress or whether it's daily household stress, you can take that much more calmly if you've kind of done your morning workout, versus if you've missed it or you've not been able to do it. I've noticed people behaving very irritable, and one of the reasons is that, I didn't get my morning walk, or I didn't get my morning run. So it's a nice thing to kind of get it done in the morning. Highly preferred by most
Can
of
I
us.
can I add something here at this point of time?
Sure, absolutely.
Sorry, yeah, I'll interrupt. There is this saying, your morning frame state. determines your frame state for the rest of the day. Okay. There is this saying, got up on the wrong side of the bed. Okay. And when I say it in corporate audiences, I say that, oh, I'm sure that in your office there are colleagues, there, aaj andar mat ja cabin mein. He's shouting, barking at everybody. Maybe, he got up on the wrong side of the bed, kind of thing, he got up in a foul mood. So coming back, your morning frame state is a frame state that kind of guides you through the day. And that is very important. We recognize that in daily conversations also. What happens is that when you go and walk, you walk for 45 minutes, you walk for 1 hour, you run 2 lampposts, and then you walk 8 lampposts. Whatever it may be, you come back with a sense of accomplishment. You come back with a frame state where you say, wow, I did it. This is really nice. I can now have that lemon tea or cup of chai or whatever you have like to have when you come back with feeling nice about yourself. This frame state guides you through the entire day. When you start feeling accomplished, whatever else you do in life during the rest of the day, you carry that same positive feel into that effort, and then you become successful in everything else also. You're not looking at everything, Arey, baapre, I have to do this now. You're saying, wow, this is an opportunity for me to do it, and let me do it. So you become more accomplished in all the other aspects of life also when you start exercising in the morning. Continue, Anshu.
Now, thanks, Venkat. I think for the larger audience over here and follow all of us who are either already doing it or even want to start it, whichever camp you are in, please feel free to join Get Setup's community of physical fitness, as well as a new challenge we're starting. I have started the 45-day challenge. A lot of Venkat's tips and all other tips about doing your daily activity to be able to run first or your regular running are put over there regularly. So please do join on that. Venkat, one question that keeps coming to all of us. We open it to the audience for questions, which I'm sure a lot of them have. A few of them would be that link that you mentioned, which our team is going to send that across to them. Is if I have never run before, and I want to at least have a goal in that I want to run my first 5 kilometer, and I know you run a program called Sofa to 5K. What target of time should I have to call myself that it's a good one? Uh, can 5 kilometers be done in 45 minutes is good, or is 30 minutes good? Or for a beginner, what would you do? And as of course, as regulars, and as you challenge yourself, maybe I've known of people who even do it in 15 minutes, so that's like really fast. But for a beginner, what benchmark would you want to advise to keep in mind? What are the couple of benchmarks for a beginner, or even an intermediate person like some of us?
So average people walk 4 to 6 kilometers an hour. Okay. 4 is a pace of 15. 6 is a pace of 10. Okay. So people walk at a pace which is, inverse of speed. Between 10 and 15. That is the if you're walking on the beach looking here and there, you're going to take 15 minutes to cover 1 kilometer. So 5 kilometers will be 45 minutes. Okay. That is what I said. When you walk 45 minutes, you are covering 5 kilometers. You do a little bit brisk, like with a sense of purpose, you are walking. You're not like looking around and walking. With a sense of purpose, you will do about 10 this. So you will take, sorry, 15.5 will take 75 minutes, which is 1 hour, 15 minutes. With a sense of purpose, if you walk in about 50 minutes, okay? Which is what I said, 45. If you jog run, like 2 lamppost and then walk, 2 lamppost and then walk, you will come to about below 10. If you do 50 walking and 50% running, you'll come to a pace of about 9. Okay. If you do a mild run all throughout, you'll come to a pace of about 8. Okay. So these are the paces, and each one will have a different level of fitness and ability to do this. So if you do a mild run, that is, you run the entire 5 kilometers, maybe you stop for a drink of water, or you tie your shoelaces or something like that, or maybe you change the playlist on your phone if you're using that. Though I said no to it, kind of thing. Then you will be doing 8. Okay. So you'll be doing 8. So if you do 8 and if you do 5, it means 40 minutes. Okay. If you do 9 and if you do 5, it means 45 minutes. Okay. So that is what. So So for a rank beginner, doing a 5K in say 30 minutes to 40 minutes will be a very nice, because 30 minutes means 6 ka pace, which is like continuously running. Okay, not even drinking water or not doing this. So that is the kind of time goal that you can set for yourself. Everybody will be different. Very difficult to set one benchmark for everyone. But basically, depending upon where they are in the fitness journey, they can come to that as a target goal. But in about 45 days, if you do this run walk program kind of thing, you will be running continuously. You will come to a pace of about 8.5, that kind of a pace. And you will do it in about 40, 45 minutes.
Got it. So I think so far what we've learned from you is to optimizing our performance. A
Mm.
few things important. A, don't hesitate. Don't worry about find the counterbalance to all the irritations on the road, or whether it's the heart or the knees. Find the counterbalance to that, and go ahead and get your daily dose of dose. So all the four hormones, get your daily dose. When we say daily dose, is also put an adequate amount of rest in between, because muscles require to recover, they require rest. So do not forget to rest. So don't have to do things every day. Take a break at least every alternate day is also good, but at least once a week there should be a break day to ensure that your muscles recover. Put in strength training to ensure that there is along with the cardio, there is the muscles remain strong, and to be able to carry you longer and farther away if you're putting up yourself for a challenge, or even to anyway enjoy all the other activities of life. Get most of your cardio done early part of the day. It just helps you take on the day better. So far we've taken care of that. And to put a target to yourself, an adequate amount of a 30-minute to 40-minute 5K is good to start with, if you can start achieving that. So anybody who's doing longer than 40 minutes is needs to pace up, because to get the full benefits, it's 30 to 40 minutes, or 30 to 45 minutes is a range that you should try and achieve in 45 odd days. So maybe start now, and in 45 odd days you should be able to achieve all of these. Coming to another probably my last bit, and then we can open it this to questions, is what kind of nutrition or daily supplements, if any, do you tell your learners, or do you tell your trainees to be aware of or take care regularly? You said you have a pizza regularly. I doubt it, Venkat, but I'll take you up on that someday. But yeah, I think you treat yourself once in a while. That's good, because to get that motivation to again go back and burn it off next morning is good. So, what are the nutritional tips that you like to any runner to remember? Hydration, nutrition, combination of some of that stuff.
It's very easy to complicate this answer, and it's very difficult to simplify the answer. Okay, uh, but I like, and this is something that everybody can take, and because it applies to everyone. There's a guy called Michael Pollan, and he's a food columnist, health columnist in New York Times, and he's written a lot of books. And in one book, what he did is that he went to all the tribal cultures all over the world: India, Africa, South America, Mexicans, Russian tribes, and he asked them what were their food rules. What rules did the community follow regarding food? Like we have so many rules now, like don't eat curds with fish is a rule that many people like to keep saying. Okay, what are the food rules? And then he assimilated all of them into one common book. So he published about 50 food rules in that book, and then he summarized that into 3 sentences. Okay, which is like the most generic answer that you can give to this question. Is eat food, not a lot, mostly plants. Okay, so I'll repeat again: eat food. So what he means by that is that do not eat food-like substances. Okay, do not eat substances that get manufactured in a factory or in a plant, are processed, have a brand name, come in a wrapper. Okay, eat the food that your grandmother ate. Would she have considered Mary biscuits with your morning tea as food? She would not. She would not know what a Mary biscuit or a Good Day biscuit is, correct? So that is food. Food is what your grandmother ate, which comes from as natural sources as possible and doesn't pass through a factory. Okay, so ice cream is not food in that definition of Michael Pollan. Uh, Putting soda into your whiskey is not food. Neither is whiskey food nor is soda food. Okay, kind of things. Okay, so that is eat food. Okay, second is not a lot. We have the scratch receptors in our stomach, and we get this feeling of satiety only when the scratch receptors get scratched. Okay, are paid भर के kaya, like feeling, पोट भरून जेवले in Maharashtra. Okay, so that feeling comes when your scratch receptors get scratched, and that feeling gives us a feeling of satisfaction of having releases dopamine and does good things for you and all that. So not a lot means that you must top at about 80%. You must always be one or two chapatis less or one or two bowls of food less. So this is about portion control. So the way I like to talk about portion control is that it is said that if you cup your palm, in this size, if you take your palm, this is the size of your stomach. Okay, this is the size of your stomach. So the way it is said in a very nice way to remember is to eat two stomachfuls and three heartfuls. Okay, this is your heart. The size of your fist is your heart, and the size of your two palms cupped is your stomach. Okay, so when you say two stomachfuls, it means have a lunch and a dinner stomachful. So which means one bowl of food. Okay, Buddhist monks, they go from place to place and they beg for food. They say Bhagavati Bhiksham Dehi. That is one bowl. So that is supposed to be one stomach full of food. Is what is the portion control, which means typically one plate of food. If you don't eat in a bowl and you want to have them separate and not all mixed together, it means one plate of food. It can be a samosa and a jalebi. It can be a chawal and a rajma. It can be a chapati and a sabji and a dal, whatever it is, one plate of food, okay, twice a day. And three times you eat your hot food, you eat very hard. So this much. So there's three small snacks. So this will be like one cup or one vati of food, kind of thing. So it can be moong, it can be chana, it can be a small sandwich, it can be one, two spoons or two large portions of, upma or poha. It can be two eggs made into an omelette, anything. So you eat that three times, you eat two plates of full, and that is how I like to interpret his second rule. Eat food, which is the first one. Second is not a lot. And the third is mostly plants. Okay. Because plants give you other original source of nutrition for us. Okay. The plant has incorporates these five elements, Pach Dhatu. You take two plants, put it into the soil. Both the plants and the seeds receive the same sunlight from the sun, the same air, the oxygen and whatever is there in the air, the same water from the rain, the same minerals from the soil, which are the four, okay? Sun, air, minerals, and water, okay? And the fifth one is the DNA or ether or whatever you want to call it, which is what makes one plant a brinjal plant and the other one a tomato plant. So the plant contains all these elements incorporated into it in the form of a brinjal or a tomato, and there are nine things that we eat from a plant: seeds, fruits, vegetables, nuts, leaves, stem, roots. All this stuff is available to eat from a plant. Nuts, if I didn't mention it. So all this is available. So the plants are the original source of nutrition for us. The nature, the earth has got an ecosystem where everything is co-dependent on each other. Plants take in carbon dioxide and give out oxygen, which we all know from the global warming. And we take in oxygen and give out carbon dioxide. So we are like two parts of the same thing. We're like intertwined, plants and human beings. Okay. So that is how we are. So that is the third thing. Mostly plants. Animals eat plants, or animals eat animals that eat plants. Okay. So that is what I mean. That is how it is. And question is that should I eat animal protein or eat animal meat? The answer is yes, you should. But you should also see the circumstances under which we started eating. There's a lot of debate about carnivore, herbivore. I'm not going to that. In countries like we are in the tropical belt, like India, there are plants growing all over the year. Throughout the year, there is either a mango season or a chiku season or a sitapul season or a potato season or a rice season or a wheat season. There's enough plant-based stuff available. So if I was a hunter-gatherer, if I was, in evolution, why would I go and kill a deer if an apple and a sitafal is available to me. Okay, I would not make that effort, right? I would focus it on this. But if you're in a temperate country where for 6 months there is snow on the ground, then you don't have any plants growing. So then you have to kill that deer or that boar or whatever animal you get, because that animal meat represents a stored value of plant-based nutrition. Okay, so there it is fine because that's the local, situation there. So that is how I justify being plant-based, because we are not born in an ecosystem that we had always had a lot of plant-based food. So eat meat if you want to, but that is what he says, mostly plants. So those are the basic ground rules for nutrition, Ashwini. Sorry if I took up a lot of time, but those three rules need elaboration.
The topic is such, Venkat, and we may have to do more sessions as our learners join our fitness community. So we'll keep them posted. That's okay. But I think well summarized on the nutrition part. So eat what your grandmother ate. Uh, Control the portions or know about the portions. Very interestingly, I noticed that you slipped in the portion about samosa and jalebi. I don't know how you call that food, but I'll take
It doesn't matter. I'll answer that on another. Yeah.
just kidding.
Mm.
And I think I like the part about have more plants or as much of vegetables, because that gives maximum amount of nutrition, and the rest is anyway available to eat. But add in more of plants. Now, questions are start coming. I think we'll open the floor to people to put in their questions on the chat, but there are a few which have already come in. So let me start with the ones that I have in the hand, and then we can take up the ones on the chat as well. So Venkat, one of the first question is that as a 53-year-old, is it too late to start running? There is an old sprain with the person who's asked this question, and it doesn't bother. The sprain doesn't bother on the ankle. It's a sprain in the ankle, and doesn't bother unless there's an intense cardio or a jog that he or she does. So what's the type of shoes best at my age? So I said three questions in one. What's the best type of shoes? Is it too late to start at 53? And what about ankle injury, which is already there? How do you kind of overcome that?
So if there is an existing injury, then one definitely needs to do what is known as prehab rather than rehab. Okay. So if that injury is such that it kind of affects your mobility, so the way to differentiate between an injury or a sprain or a twist or a kink in your body, what you can just push through, and what you need to go to a doctor, is that does it cause you pain that makes you wince? Wince. Okay, does it cause you pain that makes you lose your gait? Like you are trying to protect one side of your hip than the other. If these two factors are there, either pain is wincing or your gait is not normal, you're not like walking normally because that ankle is acting up, then you should definitely go to an orthopedic or to a physio, take an X-ray, do whatever they tell you to do, and then take it up. But if the ankle sprain is such that you can go through it, then you don't go running to a doctor for everything. Right? Some of these things just kind of iron out by themselves over a period of time. Okay. So you don't go running to a doctor. So that is a test to see for any injuries. Okay. So that is the thing. What is the second rule? Second question, that was about ankle sprain.
Is it too late to start at 53?
Is it too late to start? Science has proven that even people who start running at 80 get benefits when they are 85. Okay. So it is never too late to start. It's better late than never, as the old saying goes. Okay. And I started running when I was 45. I was not a runner. I was going to the gym, but I was never a runner. I have regularly people who join me who are like 55, 60, undergone their bypass, never exercised before, corporate executives, corner suit, CXO kind of role, too much stressful, can't be bothered with exercising in life. They come and they have had benefits. So it's never too late to start. Next.
That's interesting. Okay, there's a first-time marathon participant over here. Rita Vora says that it's the first time that she's taking part in the marathon. She does dance, does yoga, strength exercise, walking, jogging, but never tried running. So, how does she train herself for running? She's already registered for the marathon, and it's the first time, but never tried running. So, tips for that.
If you're already a dancer, if you're doing yoga, if you're doing other activities, definitely your body is better adapted. In fact, I have found from my own experience that people who have been doing dancing even when they're younger, and say ladies at 40, they were dancing when they were, they learned Bharatanatyam or whatever they learned when they were younger, but gave up because of life, and now come have a better aerobic fitness than somebody who was not a dancer. Somebody I know I have ladies who continuously practice dancing. They just take off, they have got very good, level of fitness because dancing does the same thing that running does, which is impact your legs and increase your heart rate. Okay. So if you're already dancing, you are kind of trained, though there is no specificity. That means you're not trained for running, you're trained for running, but the base level of fitness, flexibility, aerobic capability is already there in you, which with some running will get added. So you can start running. So for somebody like you, I would not even recommend that do that 1 hour walk and test yourself because you're beyond that level. I would say that add specificity, which is to run 2 lampposts and walk 8. See how it feels for first week. And I would put you on a more aggressive plan. If you do 2 and you feel okay, I would not tell you to do 3 lampposts. I'll tell you to do 4 lampposts and then walk 6 and then ramp it up a little bit higher because you're already at a good starting platform. Yes, you can take up running and running will add a lot more because dancing requires paraphernalia around it. And as you age, you may not get the group, or people may not be there from your group, etc. So running will definitely help you complement your dancing, which I highly commend you for being a dancer at this age. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Venkat. Interesting comments on the chat as well. Somebody started, Kavita said that she started running at 60. That's very commendable. And as Venkat said that even at 80 you can start running. It's never too late. So that's interesting. I think I'll start taking some questions on the chat. Uh,
Okay.
there are comments also. Kavita's also run 9 marathons, some 10Ks and 5Ks as well. Does walk and jog. That is exactly what you just said. No problem doing intermittent walk jogs as long as you kind of continuously do it. That helps you overcome the hesitations as well as free sense of accomplishment. Uh, Very clear, systematic, useful information. That's also a comment. Few queries specific to individual cases. Pregnant women, Venkat, what advice? There are two other things about specific questions. So
Yes.
pregnant, what advice?
So I have a blog and I can share that blog post. There is this lady called Vinita Singh, who is now very famous on Shark Tank because she became a this. She's a runner. I know her from before she became the Vinita Singh that we know today. And my blog post covers her. She was pregnant with a child and she was running. And I made a complete blog post about pregnancy and running, which kind of keeps getting circulated now. And the exercise science people say that running is good for pregnancy because it kind of gives more aerobic capability to both the mother and the fetus. That is rule number one. So there are lots of cases where people have won world championships. Like there is this runner lady who ran into a sixth or seventh month and completed an 100 miler and got a world championship while she was carrying that baby. So there is a school that's extreme. Okay, there is a school that says that running is good for the mother and the fetus as long as you can run. But you cannot start running after you become pregnant. You should have been athletic, you should have been fit, you should have been this, and then you can carry that on. You cannot become pregnant and say, oh, now I'll take up running. Then that will be contraindicated for both you and the child. Okay. And running doesn't have any problem. In fact, it improves your kegels, it improves your pelvic floor. It, of course, does all the good things of circulating blood and all that. It really good, gives you with a good dose of hormones. All the stress of carrying a baby is not there. So those are the nice aspects. They're all medically proven. But unfortunately, we live in a society which is not very ready to accept this. And even the gynac and then the people in the business of pregnancy do not encourage people to run because they think that everybody is sedentary, so therefore they should not do any activity when they are pregnant, which is a nice thing to say. But if you have already been active, if you have already been running, walking, dancing, then there is no reason why you should discontinue doing that just because you got pregnant.
Thanks, Venkat. I think some of the other things are anybody who has any medical situation, and I think Venkat at the beginning of the conversation said that if you suffer or if you have two of the four, do consult your doctor. But we have practitioners amongst the running community who keep doing it. So these are all from those experiences, and it's possible. But any specific situation of any individual, just always consult a regular doctor. Two most similar questions around the thing. A female of 60 years with rheumatoid arthritis and a patient of Alzheimer's, 65 years old, what would you say about them wanting to run or they running? Arthritis, one, and Alzheimer's, second.
Arthritis is a condition which comes because of various reasons. Basically, it is a toughening of the connective tissues. An arthritis person will generally have a sugar problem. You to treat it generally, not necessarily, generally be preceded with also diabetes or high level of sugar, and kind of it is a kind of degenerative thing coming out of this. It can also be genetic. Okay, when you have arthritis, definitely you should focus more on the flexibility and the mobility aspect of training and the balancing aspect of training, because one of the biggest fears, and we don't address this elephant in the room, most of the people, older people die not because of cardiac disease or this, but the biggest killer, this lifestyle diseases aside, is falling down. Okay, getting a fracture, lying in the bed, not able to move, and getting bed sores, and then other complications and passing away. So, improving your balance and your flexibility and your mobility is very important. Running will help you to some extent, definitely. It may or may not reverse the condition, but it will help you to manage the condition better. Okay, so you must involve other aspects of training such as balance, flexibility, movement, join a yoga class, etc. Because if you start working the body, working the connective tissues, they also have an ability to slowly repair and heal themselves. Okay, that is the thing. Second is a patient with Alzheimer's. If Alzheimer's again is an irreversible medical condition, if a Alzheimer patient wants to go out for a run, I mean, there's a standard protocol. You put a name and you give him a tag that has his name and all his medical condition details, which you tell him to carry with him all the time. So if you they give this tag, and there are a lot of people walking on Bandra and this with this tag. They are people with dementia or Alzheimer's or whatever you want to call them. So definitely they should take this tag. Alzheimer's will definitely help him in increasing his mood. Depends again upon where he is on the spectrum of Alzheimer's, and controlling him. It'll help him fight lifestyle issues like putting obesity or other things. But you should take him for run. He should have a companion at all times, and he should slowly start enjoying the activity. The idea for anybody like this with arthritis or Alzheimer's is that what can you do to improve the quality of their life in this late stage when things are not reversible to some extent for whatever reason. How do you improve their quality of life? How do you make them see their last years in a happy frame of mind? And running can bring happiness to both the athletic person and the Alzheimer's person, but somebody should be there with them. They definitely need a little bit more care than somebody who's normal, just getting out and walking and coming back.
Thanks, Venkat. A lot of
Thank you
comments.
so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, this has
My,
been very,
my,
very
thank you.
gratifying.
Thank you.
If I just read the similar comments, Venkat, across people have been, everybody's been very, very enjoyable session, but more importantly, people want more of this. So
Okay.
you'll have to have more sessions like this. I think I'll take the last question over here. If anything is unanswered by any chance and people still have questions, just put them here or email it to us. We'll have Venkat answer it and send it across to you. That's not a problem. Just feel free. Somebody said I'm 68 and I can I run? I think that was already answered. That people at 80 have also started, so it's all good. I think actually I've covered all the questions. Am I missing anyone?
There is one regarding plate and fist. How can you generalize? It's quite early. And I would like to answer that question specifically.
Okay.
The caloric individual of every individual is different. How does the rest, fish, and such arbitrary measure convert to caloric needs? Okay. So let
Okay.
me explain this a little bit because it looks like I'm trying to oversimplify things. There is something known as a BMR. BMR is base metabolism rate. And the BMR, that is how much do you burn just to stay alive. If I lied in bed the whole day, how much calories would my body burn? So that depends upon your age, your muscle mass, your gender, how much fat tissue you have. But generally, and there are calculators available, you can go online and put your numbers into a calculator and find out your BMR. So your BMR would be about 1200 to 1400, 1600 in that range, okay, in that range. Then there is, to this you add the caloric expenditure of your daily lifestyle. Okay, what is your daily lifestyle? You go down the staircase, you take a train, you climb up the this, you go to the bathroom 5 times a day and come back. You stand in the kitchen and cook. So this is your daily activities, the kind of thing. So you add those calories, which will be about 100, 200, depending upon whatever you do. And then there's the exercise calories. I went out for a run, half marathon. I burned about 1,000 calories. So generally, if you take this timetable and there are online calculators to calculate your BMR, most of us are between 1,500 to 2,000 calories a day. Okay, that is what it is. And then the question is that how do these 2,000 calories come? And how do you limit yourself to 2,000? Because if you're eating 3,000, then you're obviously adding on weight and you're not losing weight. If you want to lose weight, you got to come below, you got to create a calorie deficit. So, how do you know that your food is 2,000 calories or 1,800 calories or whatever that deficit you want to create? One is portion control, and the second one is actually measure things. You can take a scale and measure things. Fat, if you add that plate of samosa and jalebi, then obviously there's sugar and fat. So that would be 9 calories to every gram of thing. If you add that plate full of salads and fruits, then obviously it will be much lesser. But what is the way to simplify? How can it be actionable? How can people restrict themselves to 2,000 calories? And like you have this triangle plate of food, like what should be there at the top? There should be protein or animal meat, and bottom should be grains. You have that, which is now a plate of food. This is a very simple way of simplifying what can otherwise be a very complicated answer.
Thanks, Venkat, for simplifying a lot of things. And I think I'll close the session. I think only one unanswered right now, but Shruti has put up a form over there. Please join the challenge, even if you're not participating in the challenge. Just join the fitness group or the challenge, because most of you who said that somebody's asked for your blog where you regularly write these things. We'll be using a lot of this information and putting it up on the fitness groups, because Venkat and us and you two and us are doing joint activities. For all the ones who have already signed up for the Tata Mumbai Marathon, join us post-race, post-run. Venkat's hosting. We'll let you know what the venue will be. It'll be outside the main. Join us over there for an after race or after party, as we'd like to call it, after run, along with Venkat, and a few of us will be running as well at the Mumbai Marathon. So thank you very much for everybody who's joined. A quick summary around this is basically be regular, don't hesitate. Remember the benefits. There's medical, physiological, the social. Eat well, eat what your grandmother ate, eat more of plants, manage the portion, and just go for your daily dose of the hormones. So I think, or a regular dose, not daily, but a regular dose of. And sorry, I forgot about the mentioning the fact that includes strength training, mobility, or functional as well, to ensure that you get the maximum out of your body and live a healthy life. Venkat, thank you very much. And we'll be having you over a few times again. And thank you for partnering with us with these tips and giving all our learners and us, keeping us motivated with regular burning of the tar of Mumbai roads, at least the ones who are in Mumbai, watch you in person. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Venkat.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you very much, Ashwini, for giving me this platform to be able to share my knowledge. And, I like to do a lot of this because I feel that even if one person benefits out of this session and changes their life, that benefit is a significant benefit for him, for the family, for Get Set Up, for me, for all of our mission, collective mission to get healthy and to see that we have healthy aging. And, in our advanced years also, we live a life that is meaningful and joyful. Thank you very much.
Thank
I would
you,
love
everyone.
to meet you someday.
Sure, definitely.
On Mumbai roads anytime.
Yes,
I
yes.
have to come to Mumbai to meet him. Not
Most
coming for
certainly.
TMM, joining Kolkata Tata Marathon,
Lovely.
not
For
Mumbai.
TSK.
Let's join a group.
Yes.
We have sessions across, so just stay in touch with the Get Set Up community, and we'll manage
Yeah.
we'll manage these gatherings more.
Tata Kolkata also, I'm just holding water station this time. Last year I ran 10 kilometers at 80 minutes.
Wow,
Lovely.
very good. Excellent.
Yeah. And this time I'm holding water station. I would love to do that first.
Lovely.
Thank
No,
you so much, sir. It was such a nice experience meeting you. और मुझे आपसे बहुत सारी बातें करनी है. आप कैसे करोगे बता देना. Guidelines
Zero,
बहुत सारे
zero.
चाहिए.
They'll share the contact details.
Sure. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
have a
Lovely
good
morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.